Everyone is a little fearful about the open beta for Battlefield 2042, and in this video I want to talk about some of those concerns and fears of the beta. Let's jump right in and talk about that. Welcome to Uplink. Before we get started, I want to highlight our podcast, The Battlefield Show. Every Friday, myself and Sammy Boy talk about all things Battlefield 2042 and the wider world of Battlefield. So definitely come check us out every Friday on this channel or wherever you find podcasts. Besides all of the bug fixes and the server problems, I want to talk about some of the other things that I have concerns about and fears of that the beta may not address in Battlefield 2042. The first one I want to highlight is crossplay. Crossplay, this is the first time we're going to get crossplay in a Battlefield game, and this game is one of the biggest Battlefield games ever. So we're having 128 players, we're having crossplay between PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, so they're going to have their own little world, and then we have crossplay between PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC. So we've got, first off, 2 separate server bases, as well as 5 different platforms, then 2 of which are not going to be able to play with the other 3 and vice versa. So I think there's going to be a big concern I have with the crossplay aspect of things, but hopefully through the alpha or the pre-alpha that they had and some of the other things, they really worked out some of the things that they were having issues with crossplay. One of which they already announced and said that PlayStation 5 did have some issues with crossplay that they were addressing and were not able to do in the technical test. So let's see how that ends up working out for Battlefield 2042 and how it affects crossplay for the wider world of Battlefield. With how big Battlefield 2042 is, we're getting one of the biggest, actually the biggest experience in the franchise with some of the biggest maps over the board. Yes, we do have a limited number, but those maps that we do have are quite large, so we have to take that into consideration as well. Something that I may be concerned about, have some fears of, is the limited experience of Battlefield 2042. As we know so far, we have All Out Warfare, Portal, and Hazard Zone, which we don't know much about on the Hazard Zone front. So we're still waiting for details on that. I'm not 100% sure it will come out with the launch. It may come out later, and we still wonder if it is going to be a free-to-play aspect of the game, which I think it will be, and I hope it will be, because that will bring a lot more people to the game. But that game only has, as we know it, 3 different experiences. Again, Portal is huge and has a lot of different customization in it, but then in terms of the official support, it's more limited. So hopefully they have a really good showcase of what is offered in Battlefield 2042, because that will definitely have a big effect on how people perceive the game. Because a beta is, while it is technical details for the developers, it's also allowing consumers a free look at the game. And if the game doesn't look that great, well, I don't think people are going to buy it, or they may cancel their pre-orders. So we'll see on that front. The next thing I want to talk about is time to kill. And this is something that Battlefield has struggled with historically, and they have showcased not the best in terms of how they approach it. In the past, we've actually had them have big problems with time to kill, and they've actually made it worse so we had some issues in the beta, and then they said, oh, hey, we're going to fix the time to kill stuff, and the game came out, and it was actually worse than it was before. So this is something that I think they hopefully will work on and adjust the time to kill, and they make it a really fast, robust experience versus the past entries into the franchise, because I think that's something that a lot of people have concerns of. I've seen it going around in the community more recently, and has been something that has been voiced through the playtests, through all of the different discussions online. I don't know how many times I've heard time to kill or TTK in the past few months, but it has been quite a bit. This next point I want to talk about is probably my biggest fear of the game, is that they won't adjust the kill feed. I hate the kill feed. I really liked the kill feed in Battlefield 5 and then in Battlefield 1. I think they both did a great job. I mean, even the past games, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, I mean, it just worked. It worked like it was supposed to. And in Battlefield 2042, they have this really stupid system where you get a kill and then it just says +1, +2, +3 if you get 2 get 3 kills. It just keeps on going with that single one. I like to see who I killed as I go. I think it's just a really good thing, and it off-puts me anytime I see either the little gameplay teasers that they have or the leaked footage. Like, I just don't like it. It rubs me the wrong way every time. And while it's something that we'll all get used to, I think in the beta, a lot more people are going to see it, and a lot more people are going to have issues with it, because a lot more people than just Battlefield developers are going to be playing this. And I think people have voiced their concerns. People have voiced the fear that they have that it will stay. And if it does stay, I hope that they change it as soon as possible, because I hate it. So what does a beta offer to both the developers and the community? Well, for the developers, they get a lot of very good data. They get to see how people are actually playing the game. They get to see what weapons need to be adjusted, what systems need to be adjusted. Can the servers handle the amount of people playing it? Because there's going to be a lot more people at the height of a beta, more than likely. Obviously, they want as many people at launch as possible, but some people are going to be off-put on the game. Some people are going to be really put onto the game. So the beta offers a lot of interesting facts, details, and data for the developers. And for the players, for the consumer, it's the same thing, almost. They get a lot of data on how the game plays, if they're going to enjoy it, what the maps look like, and what the whole experience is in that first look. Most people's first experiences with a multiplayer game, if they're really immersed in the community, is that beta. They're going to make their decision on whether or not they're going to purchase that game dependent on the beta. So the beta is super, super important for this game. Battlefield 2042 is a huge part of DICE. It's going to be the determinant factor for the game series as a whole. It's going to define how the game series moves forward. So it's super, super important that they get this right. And if they get it wrong, it's going to be super, super bad. I think if they don't get this beta right, it's going to be a Battlefield 5 experience. Honestly, like, that's how important a beta is in terms of people either pre-ordering the game or canceling their existing pre-orders. And I've seen a lot of concerns in the community. I made a whole video about this, that people are concerned the game is either going to get delayed or won't be as fully featured as they would want it to if they stick with that release date. And one side of things is that people are just super, super hyped about it. But there has been a lot of discussion and talk about the game being delayed. But if they delay the game anymore, Call of Duty is going to take the victory. EA is putting a lot into this game. They took people away from supporting Battlefront and Battlefield to work on this game, and they have a lot more studios on this game as well. Ripple Effect Studios, EA Gothenburg, and a few others are working on this game specifically, and they have a lot riding on this game in terms of the future for Battlefield. So it's very important that they make a really good splash with this game, and it sells very well and sets the path forward for the future Battlefield games. But we have this behemoth of a monster that is Call of Duty that has a lot of marketing budget, much more than Battlefield does. Battlefield seems to be marketing to Battlefield fans. They aren't really overreaching the wider world of gamers. Like, Call of Duty has a ton of marketing budget to advertise itself. I'm going to be sitting down at a bar and I'm going to see on the TV an ad for Call of Duty. I have never had that experience with a Battlefield game. Happens all the time with Call of Duty. You're going down the street, there's a bus completely skinned out with Call of Duty. So Call of Duty has this advantage of this money, and it's a name that many, many people recognize and see. So it's very important that Battlefield makes a case for people to play them over Battlefield. And if they come very close to each other, if this game gets delayed a month or 2 months, people will either buy Call of Duty first or not even play Battlefield. So why do we as fans want Battlefield to do well? If Battlefield does well, we have a lot more lobbies. It's going to be more fun. The game's going to get supported longer. So it's very important that we get Battlefield to a place that is really well loved and supported by the community and supported by the developers, so we can have an enjoyable experience. And while I love both games, I do hope that both games go well, but I do hope that Battlefield does really well, so we can continue seeing this robust, large-scale experience from the teams over there. I just hope the communication does get better. So those are some of my fears for the Battlefield 2042 open beta. Let me know down below what you think about all of this, and if you are concerned or have some fears, what are you really looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to? And what are some of the things that you'd like to get adjusted? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you on the battlefield.